this.
So I'm replaying Snake Eater, trying to remember how not to suck at the game, and get to the Sorrow's fight. This is one of those moments in Metal Gear Solid that stands out among all the other standout moments. You walk Snake down a river containing all the dead soldiers you've killed in the game up to that point, and the game keeps track of which enemy types you've killed and their cause of death. Guards will slit throats and bloody necks, and if you kill a guy in the mountains and wait to see a vulture feast on his body, you can see that bird harass a soldier's ghost in the afterlife. It's a great instance of a Metal Gear title leveraging its gameplay to express its themes to the player. Yeah, it's fun to blow people up in the game, but you're a soldier in a war, hurting other soldiers, and that's gonna weigh on your soul in ways you can't rationally comprehend.
You were halfway drowned at the bottom of the river, almost crossed over to the other side.
Other side. So that really was.
Something on your mind, Snake?
Great set piece. I think it surpasses the Psycho Mantis fight in the first game, but that's not what I want to focus on in this video. As I played the game and paid attention to whenever the Sorrow appeared, I started wondering if this was a point where Kojima first conceptualized the supernatural aspects of Death Stranding, namely the beaches and the beach things, or BTs, that come from those beaches. Just a quick recap on Death Stranding terminology. Beaches are metaphysical planes that exist between life and death that can grant certain people unique abilities, like teleportation. Time operates differently in beaches, and the US government exploited that to create the chiral network, which allows for the transfer of massive amounts of data with zero wait time. Because we're fucking with forces beyond our comprehension, stuff gets freaky, and some of the things that reside on the other side leak through into the living world via the beaches. Those are what we call beach things, or BTs. The beach also has ties to different eras of the world's history, so whenever a part of a beach manifests in the living world, it brings sea life along with it, like crabs and fish. One of the telltale signs that a beach might manifest is the presence of rainfall, or timefall, as the setting refers to the rain's rapid aging effects on anything and anyone it touches. I'm taking time to explain all this now because a lot of the imagery associated with beaches and BTs seems to have parallels to the imagery associated with the Sorrow from Metal Gear Solid 3. In group scenes with other members of the Cobra unit, the Sorrow's presence is heralded by rainfall, much like how timefall in Death Stranding heralds the presence of BTs. Whether you went lethal or non-lethal in your run, which affects how many bodies you'll face in the riverbed, if any, the water is overflowing with dead fish. If you've ever fought and killed a BT in Death Stranding, you'll know that the surrounding area gets caked with dead fish afterwards. The way the Sorrow glides around in the air resembles how Psycho Mantis moved in Metal Gear Solid, like a marionette being pulled about by its strings. BTs aren't as mobile, but they do hang in the air, much like Mantis and the Sorrow, and their umbilical cords reinforce the puppet string imagery. Hell, the very concept of the dead coming back to force the living to reckon with the consequences of their actions is readily apparent in both games, especially when you learn about the connection between the chiral network and the Death Stranding. And when the Sorrow attacks Snake at the very end, the game makes it look like a standard game over screen. You can use your revival pill to wake up and beat the Sorrow. Snake pulls himself out of the river and coughs up all the water in his throat. I swear that Sam makes the exact same sound whenever he repatriates and coughs up tar. As for the Sorrow himself, the concept of a person lingering after death because of unfinished business also carries over into Death Stranding with Cliff Unger, the mysterious soldier who's always hounding after Sam and his bridge baby. You even catch glimpses of their respective pasts that explain their motives for pursuing Snake or Sam. I'd go so far as to say that the river is a Sorrow's version of the beach. It's never clear if it's an actual or metaphorical place, but it is a place that seems outside of time and contains the spirits of the dead.
Sam, do you copy? Our bodies, our ha, all occupy the same world, but our souls, our ka, have beaches all their own. These beaches are given form inside our brains by our beliefs, religion, philosophy, and so forth. As a result, a beach can be anything, and those anythings form a multiverse. However, if many people die at once, their beaches can become entangled, creating a strand field. This phenomenon is exacerbated in wartime by omnipresent feelings of resentment and despair. Beaches are more easily and frequently entangled. On such a beach, exits vanish and experiences cycle endlessly. Picture it like a record player. The needle skips, playing the same phrase again and again. They're fighting a battle that has no beginning or end. Round and round it goes.
I didn't really make the connection until I entered the 3-story warehouse that leads to Granin.
To capitalism.
That's the next immediate area after seeing Volgin, Ocelot, and the boss interact with Sokolov and Eva, and it's where the riverbed terminates into a dockyard for skiffs. At the ground level of the warehouse, there are crabs skittering about, implying that they came from the same entrance as Snake, and my mind went to the crabs you'd see on the beach whenever Sam repatriates. Whether there is any confirmation that Kojima took inspo from the Sorrow for the beach, cliff, and Death Stranding, or this is another one of my Room 237 moments with his games, I'll never know for sure. But I'm glad I went back to Snake Eater while Delta's been a hot topic, so I can revisit this moment with fresh eyes.
The perfect mummy.
If and when you get to the Sorrow fight in whatever version of the game you're playing, let me know if you see what I see in the comments.